Overtime.
Your home for scores, recaps, and interviews with our top coaches.
Here are your hosts, Lee Cochran and Ryan Baker.
Well, kind of. It is Lee Cochran. It is Tito. It is Ryan Baker. Hustling into the studio here. We've got the Byers Dublin Subaru High School Football Overtime Show. Week 7 now is where we're at here in the high school football season. Lee, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Gotcha.
There you go.
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. You
Now
can
you're
hear
doing
me.
great. Now I can hear
I'm
you.
doing great. A great night of high school football. Got to listen to my good friend Ryan Baker on TV.
Yes.
I don't want to say I got to see him, but I did actually. But I got to hear him. Good job, Bake.
Why don't you, Baker, why don't you give us your brief recap of the game you just did?
Thanks, boys. This is kind of different sitting over here tonight right now. No,
You're in the Dom Taberry seat.
I am. We're going to have to push him over there tonight when we get those guys in there. But Battle of Hilliard, always a fun time. Davidson is a really, really good football team. It's almost kind of surprising that they have 2 losses on the season. They're so big up front. They've got 2 running backs that can hurt you. They've got a quarterback in Johnny DeBlasio that can do it with his feet, do it with his legs. He had 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdown passes today as well. Bradley, unfortunately, they're just a little undermanned. They're young. They're kind of small. This Bradley team kind of reminds me of an Olentangy Liberty team 2 years ago that started all those sophomores that are seniors now. And now Liberty's having the great run that they're having. Obviously a tough loss for them tonight. But I could see 2 years from now, this Bradley team with Declan O'Neal, Trey Paulus, and then Savon Stewart and Rashad Truss, the little running back that's a freshman. I could see them 2 years from now being really, really good.
You spoke a little bit about Davidson and you're surprised. How could this team lose 2 games? Don't forget, they lost to Pine Richland out of Pennsylvania, who enters this week undefeated. And then they lose last week to Orange in a tight game, 1-score game, 21-14. So neither one of those losses is a bad loss.
No.
They easily, even Pine Richland, they lost by 11. They easily could be 7-0 right now.
And that Orange team that they played, Jeremy Scally told me Levi Davis, and we've talked about him a lot. This is a kid that started since he was a freshman. He's a junior this year, a quarterback. He said Levi Davis alone is worth 6 wins. He said if they had no one else, they would win 6 games just because of Levi Davis.
When you sent me a text saying that, and my reaction was, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is, and coaches are into exaggerations. We know that. But there is some truth to that.
Guys, I got to tell you, though, as fun as that was over at Hilliard tonight, I don't know a lot of what's going on around the area. I need to know.
We're not going to tell you.
I need to know what's happening. I'm going through
His headphones while you give some scores, Tito.
We'll do that. We'll get some scores going here. We got Canal Winchester beating Taze Valley 30-10 tonight.
How about that, Lee? That's a Taze Valley team we were talking about last week in our post-show meeting about their only losses to Grove City. They might be really good, and then Canal just came out and put it on them.
Just smacked them.
At Taze Valley, yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, let's figure out what Taze Valley's got going on. Man, oh man, Canal looked good.
So Canal goes to 5-2, 3-1 in the OCC Buckeye. Taze Valley drops to 5-2, 3-1. Lancaster defeats Logan 20-6. Franklin Heights over Dublin Scioto 34-14. Westland defeats Westerville North 34-21. Westerville South defeats Delaware 24-21. Big Walnut.
No, flip that.
Really?
Yeah, Delaware won that one, I believe.
I think you're right. So,
But not to slow you down too much.
No, that's fine.
But Westland, now they're 6-1, 4-0 in the division. They're going to have a big one coming up in Week 10 against Big Walnut, it seems.
When we go to break, I'm going to text Trent Williamson, try to get him on the show later.
Yes, please.
So Delaware does beat Westville South 24-21 in that game. Big Walnut improves to 6-1, 4-0 in the OCC Capital with a 31-0 shutout of Worthington Kilboard. So what else we got on this one? Jerome beats Darby 35-14. Olentangy over Marysville 31-15. Thomas Worthington falls to Olentangy Berlin, right?
Yep,
Berlin.
You got to make sure you correct me. I got to come up here later on to say Berlin, not Berlin. Berlin.
That's week 10, right? Olentangy, Berlin.
Well, but see, and then you also have you got Berlin, Olentangy, and then you got Liberty and Orange in week 10. All those 4 Olentangy schools play each other in week 10.
Davidson, as Ryan told us about this, Davidson over Bradley 45-13. Upper Arlington was trailing Liberty 28-16 in the fourth quarter in that game.
Wow.
Came back and won 31-28.
Yeah,
Tito?
Yes, sir.
and Alex Dillard scored in the last minute.
That is why I never bet against UA, and we're not betting on high school games anyway, but Justin
Allegedly.
Buttermore is the best coach in Central Ohio.
They got the best one in Central Ohio.
He's on the record.
He's the best one. He's so good.
Oh, he is.
Other coaches will say it too.
But the thing of it is, he's always been known for offense. Their defense has been lights out. Their defense set him up. They gave up 28 points, but their defense stopped Liberty on a 4th and 2. That was going to end the game.
Wow.
Yeah, so UA scores and gets a 2-point. They go up 29-28, gets a 2-point conversion. The game ended on a sack when Liberty had the ball on the UA 42-yard line in that game. So Upper Arlington goes to 6-1, 2-0 in the Central. OC Central, Liberty falls to 5-2, 1-1. Olentangy Orange defeats Dublin Kaufman. Closer than I thought it'd be, 27-20 in that one. So that was a bit of a close one there.
Amari Valerio Hudson is a one-man wrecking machine for Kaufman. He can keep him in any game.
Yeah, and Kaufman's not. I mean, they lost to Gahanna by 20 points, but I mean, they just been there, but not had enough to get over the hump for those wins, because that's their 4th straight loss.
Yeah. Yep. What else we got? In the OCC, Ohio, Pick North defeats Central Crossing 42-0. And then Gahanna over New Albany 41-6. Grove City shuts out Westville Central. Westville Central still winless. That one's 35-0. Grove City improves to 6-1. And this is where Ryan Baker tells us how good Grove City is and how great they are and how great they used to be and how great they will be forever. No?
I get 2 words that can quiet him though.
What's that?
Crew Stadium.
Oh, we're talking about 99. So I was talking to Jacob. I had to see if we had to go to break to get an ID in here.
Do we have
I know
to?
we're a little ahead, but I think we do have to go to an ID. But
Then why don't we go to a break?
So we were talking about Grove City in 99 again. You know Higgins is going to be mad at you. He's going to text me about it.
Grove City won big tonight. They're back.
I was getting alerts on that from my buddy Brent Ford, who does Westerville Central games. So
we'll get you some more scores coming up next. This is the Byers Dublin of Subaru High School Football Overtime Show right here on 97.1 The Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services,
No,
even
but-
for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No, but-
Adios.
but-
Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Right now, save up to $250 on Cooper tires, and shocks and struts are buy 3, get 1 free.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Heben, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Welcome to Reverse Aesthetics. Our medical weight loss program includes popular medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, both of which are supercharged by our body sculpting treatments. For only $2.99 per month, under the supervision of our board-certified medical doctor, Reverse Aesthetics can help you achieve your weight loss goals while tracking progress quarterly. We have plenty of inventory and can begin treatment within 48 hours of your consult. Schedule now at reverse-aesthetics.com or call us at 614-656-4000.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. Thanksgiving's coming up fast. So while you're counting your blessings, why not add a thankful 30 to the list? With Awaken 180 weight loss, you could drop 30 pounds by Thanksgiving, or even 40 if you get the same results I did. I dropped my first 30 pounds in just over a month, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Imagine this. While everyone else is debating the play calling in the big games, you're sitting at the dinner table feeling lighter, more energetic, and thankful for the 30 pounds no longer holding you back. If I can drop 55 pounds with Awaken 180, I know you can hit the thankful 30 by Turkey Day. It's simple. It's laid out for you. And as you all know by now, it doesn't include a lifetime of medications. That's why I chose Awaken 180. Be thankful this year by dropping your 30 or more pounds. Head to awaken180weightloss.com and reserve your consultation today. It's fast, proven, and as you all know, the weight will stay off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This show gets you so close to high school football, you can smell the stinky shoulder pads. It's Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Yes, it is. Welcome back in. Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime, taking you until 11:30 tonight. Have a little more time to give you some of the scores and talk to some of the coaches as well. Hard to believe. Week 7 in the books now for the most part. This season is just flying by. And go back to that Davidson-Bradley game today, talking to Coach Schall this year. He said he can't believe it's week 7 already. He said he's having so much fun with this Davidson team and this group of players. He said normally by week 7, sometimes it can feel like it's dragging. He said this year he's having a blast. He feels like it's just week 4. And I got to feel the same way, Lee. We talk about this every year, though. These seasons, once we get into these games, they just fly right by.
Well, and he's all. I can understand Coach Schall saying that because they've had one winning season in the last 4 years, and they've got a pretty doggone good ball club this year. So I'm sure it's making it fly by.
Lee, you talked about the OCC Central and how difficult it is, though. You look at that schedule, and they play a rivalry game with Kaufman, and you mentioned, 27-20 tonight? Kaufman gave Orange everything they could handle.
I believe that's correct.
And Kaufman's at 1-6.
1-6, yeah, who would have thought that? But then they end the year with Liberty, Upper Arlington. Man, that's a gauntlet of a schedule to end the year for Davidson.
Yeah, I mean, but it's been this way for years. I mean, the OCC Central has just been that incredibly talented conference. And when you have a team like Dublin Kaufman 1-6, and they're much better than a 1-6 ball club, and you hate saying it that way because, but they really are. And it's, that's why, I've said it all along. I mean, you've gone on record saying, Coach Buttermore is the best coach out there. I think this is the best division in in Central Ohio, if not the state.
So who are you going to pick then to win the division? Okay, the OC Central now you got UA's at 6-1. Orange is 6-1, and they're both 2-0. I should say in the conference there. Davidson now 1-1. Who are you picking out of the group there in the OC Central? Who do you think's going to win it?
I would say Upper Arlington because of the Buttermore effect. Talk to me next week after our game of the week when Upper Arlington travels to Orange. And I may have a better answer for you. Tito, you have been around Central Ohio for a long time. And maybe this is just my nostalgia kicking in, but when Davidson, when Upper Arlington, when Grove City, when Kaufman, even though they're 1-6 this year, but when Kaufman, when those teams are good, Central Ohio football just feels better, I feel like.
It does, and I liken it to the college football thing all the time. We talk about when the blue bloods in college football are good, that's what we enjoy. I think college football, the season more as a whole. Same thing with things like that, like you mentioned. Yes, these schools that we, when we were younger and watching it and paying very close attention to, is like before we had lives and jobs and all that stuff, it's fun seeing these schools when they're good. Yes, look, I'm a UA guy, but I love seeing Davidson being good. I think that's really good for high school football here in the area, and I can't. This division's it's a grind, and UA and Olentangy Liberty. I mean, Olentangy Liberty comes in first in Region 3. UA was, I think, fourth in Region 3. Their last two times they met were in overtime, and this one comes down to the final minute. So these are all. It's a fun matchup there, and these teams are all. It's going to be fun to see how this plays out down the stretch.
And you talked about that. Davidson being good for Upper Arlington, that makes that Week 10 matchup so much fun, and it brings so much on the line with playoff rankings, league championships, all of that. Tito, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off with the scores in the first segment and try to give everyone some more the rest of the scores here tonight.
On ESPN 1460 tonight, we had that DeSales Hartley game, and Hartley gave DeSales a really good game. It was 7-6 at the half, only because of a missed extra point by Hartley. DeSales holds on and wins 14-6. Beechcroft beats Mifflin 40-6. Mifflin stays winless. Beechcroft improves to 5-2. It was East 43, Whetstone 14. East improves to 6-1, 3-0 in the City League North. Columbus Academy defeats Bexley 42-0. It's Reedy 42, Whitehall 6. Fairfield Union over Liberty Union 49-21 in the MSL Buckeye. It was Hamilton Township 53, Circleville 28. Bloom Carroll defeated Logan Elm in a matchup of 5-1, 3-0 teams in the Buckeye there. Bloom Carroll wins that one rather easily, 41-14. Grove City Christian shuts out Millersport 48-0 in the MSL Cardinal. Zanesville Rosecrans over Fairfield Christian 17-7. Granville defeats Licking Heights 21-0. Northridge takes on 5-1 Johnstown. Northridge wins that one 62-28. Heath over Lakewood 50-13. Utica defeats Newark Catholic 33-7. Newark Catholic winless on the season at 0-7 now, 0-2 in the LCL Cardinal. It was London 49, Jonathan Alder nothing. West Liberty Salem over West Jefferson 43-6. Madison Plains gets the win over Springfield. Greenon 21-0. Centerburg over Mount Gilead 46-14. It was Martins Ferry 50, Byrne Union 7. Did we get a final score in that Grandview Heights game yet? I haven't seen it yet, but
I've not seen a final yet.
But we know. Look, at one point, by the way, William Christian took the lead 7-0 in that game, and then Grandview Heights kind of poured it on after that. But we'll get a final score to you. But Henry Ollinger at last check with about 6 minutes left in the game had 6 touchdowns and 334 yards rushing on 32 carries. We'll get you final numbers on that as soon as we can. Buckeye Valley over St. Charles 31-13. Watterson beats Kipp 45-6. Watkins Memorial gets their first win of the season in overtime against Mount Vernon 27-21. And Corning Miller over Fisher Catholic 44-18.
Guys, I have not seen a final. I do see with 4 minutes left, Grandview had a 49-14 win. So I'm guessing that was one that they took care of and put away there. Henry Ollinger, what a game for him. They've got a couple really good players on that Grandview team. Guys, one thing we didn't talk about in this Davidson Bradley game tonight, really cool thing that happened at the beginning of the second half. Jackson Maynard, he's a kid that's been in the Hilliard program for a long time. He unfortunately has Duchenne's disease, which is a form of muscular dystrophy. and he's a big part of the Hilliard program, grew up with those kids, loves everything Hilliard football. The very first play of the second half, they had an untimed down where they gave the ball to Jackson. He was out there in his motorized wheelchair. Unfortunately, he's in a wheelchair, and they gave him the ball, and he went in for a touchdown. And I'll tell you, I thought he was going to go out of bounds. He almost drove it out of bounds, but he tucked it in there right inside the pylon, and Jackson got a touchdown. Just a great story. They asked his family if they wanted to do it on senior night, the last week of the year, and he said no. We want to do it in the Bradley game because I guess in middle school they did something similar in the 8th grade year, and they did that with the feeder school to Hilliard Bradley and Hilliard there. It was just a very cool thing. After the game, they had an interview, and they presented him with the trophy, and they asked him how it all feels, and he's like, feels freaking awesome, and it was just too cool. So a great story for the Maynard family. They have a foundation called the Little Hercules Foundation, and the Davidson team all wears stickers for that. So a pretty cool story. And, Jackson Maynard, that is the highlight of Week 7 for sure, him scoring those touchdowns. We're going to get a preview of what's coming up later tonight on 1st and 10. I'm not sure who we're getting, but we're going to get someone coming up next. It's Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime. Ryan Baker, Tito, the Guru, Lee Cochran, 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, 2 windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, "Sure is a hot day." The other one says, "Ah, a talking window."
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save on Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef. It's perfect for burgers and more. 3-pound packages are on sale for $2.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 roof.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited Truck Month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com.
Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. From Picktown to Marysville and everything in between, this is Byers Double and Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Week 7 edition of high school football overtime. Ryan Baker, the guru, Lee Cochran, like always, and we're running the three-man weave tonight with Jeff Tito Thidoff. Now we're joined by the king of Columbus sports, not Adam King.
No, Adam. King.
No, Adam is not the king. You are the king.
No, he is. He's the king.
He's king. He's not the king.
Listen, he is just a prince.
The man has,
while you are still
the
here.
man has really nice hair. I got to watch it.
Don't be starting this again.
I
Don't
just
be
saying he's got
starting
nice
it.
hair. He and Timmy Hall have great hair, but Bo Bishop has the best.
Okay, I'm glad. I don't want to be in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle of this again.
I don't want to say anything, Guru, but there's a tattletale here.
He was listening.
I don't know.
It wasn't me. I didn't tell him. Bo won't take my calls.
Listen, all I did was when you said what you said, I stuck up for Bo in his hair because they have a promo on their show that says it's the best hair on the air.
Well,
I didn't make that up.
Have you seen Timmy Hall? I mean, and then he goes, I don't put product in my hair.
Timmy's starting to get the Pepe Le Pew stripe, though, there.
He looks like Johnny Bravo's,
Do we all agree that Tim's going to color?
Oh, he puts
without
color
a
in his
doubt.
hair.
He won't go gray.
No,
I don't think so. He's got that
he's
racing
already
stripe.
Coloring it.
Is he really? That doesn't surprise me at all. That doesn't surprise me at all.
You don't think he and King put highlights in their hair?
I know. I'm sure King does. King's a prima donna. I think Tim does too. Yeah.
That's easy. That's an easy one on Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Not everyone has good hair like me and the Guru.
There you go.
Absolutely. All I want to say is God only made a few perfect heads, and he put hair on the rest of yours. So that's all I want to say.
I just love you commentating on people's hair. You've been bald since I've known you.
Look at Jacob on the other side. He's so mad loud. He's like, what about my hair?
Yeah, right, Jake. Okay, fine, Reimer. You've got pretty hair, too.
It looks good on you.
Dom, we were talking.
I'd invest in a hat if I were you, Reimer.
Right before you came on.
Bird living in that thing? Oh, my God.
I love it. Jacob's not even trying to defend himself. Maybe it's just
the game of the week.
You were
DeSales and Hartley,
and you love DeSales, right?
Well, I went there, but I mean, I'm neutral, and I think the world of Coach Birchfield. Hartley's a good team. They are. They've played a brutal schedule. DeSales keeps finding ways to win. This was old school rock and sock'em football. I mean, it's like watching Ohio State and Michigan play back in the old days. The way when those teams and I imagine although Watterson's pretty.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty.
Might be the best in Central Ohio.
How about if those two keep going and you got 10-0 versus 9-1?
What a matchup, Week 10. Yeah. That's a good one. DeSales, one of those teams that I was just about to talk about, and they're almost always good. Right. Davidson, maybe it's just my nostalgia, but when the DeSales, the Wattersons, the Davidsons, the Grove Cities, the Upper Arlingtons, when those teams are good, doesn't it just feel that's the way high school football should be in Central Ohio?
It's been that way a long time. Although when I was at DeSales, we weren't very good. We couldn't beat Watterson. But that's the way it is right now. I mean, you look at the historic team. I think it's cool that Westland is on a roll now. I mean, that their football program's back. I like seeing some of the schools that have been around. East is playing well. Representing the City League very well. We'll have highlights of them tonight. But yeah, absolutely. Westerville North. The Westervilles. I remember back when Westerville South. Remember when Tony Pusateri was there? I mean, South was a program, but
Andy Katzenmoyer, Chris Kirk, Brendan Joe,
Tony Terry, Mark Kilmeyer, a little running back by the name of Kajana Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I remember those being a Grove City guy, those Grove City Westerville South games. Yeah. It was such a rivalry back then, and they were so hard-hitting and physical. It was great.
Well, the Guru and I are old enough that we remember when there was one Dublin, when there was one Worthington, when there was one Westerville.
Mm-hmm. We talked about
let alone 25 Olentangies.
We talked about that tonight. What if all the Hilliard schools were still just one? Like if they made an all-star team, and the Pickeringtons and the Dublins, and wow, I mean that would just be formidable teams.
It's crazy, yeah. But this is the greatest time of the year. I mean, the fall weather is. I mean, it was perfect weather out there for football tonight. Last week, not so much. That hurricane was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I was out at London hosting Bell Fountain. And I don't know how they even played in that weather. I mean, at one point, the wind gusts were like hitting 60-plus miles an hour. And DeVere Posey and I were standing there, and it was like I was in a car wash. We were standing undercover trying to do live and it was like I looked like those guys on the Weather Channel nearly getting blown over. And
it was good TV. You had me laughing, Dom. I was watching. I was laughing.
Let me tell you what. And I proved Guru on the air that night because someone had sent some emails at one point saying that I need to quit wearing a dead skunk on my hair and embrace the fact that I'm bald, which I am not. But
not even close.
My hair stayed on, didn't it?
How we always end up back to hair on here when Tom's in here.
We're trying to get a sponsorship with like Paul Mitchell or something. We're trying to get something going on here.
Well,
Dommy, what do we got coming up tonight on First and 10?
10 of the best highlights in the game. I just looked at them. Our guys were amazing tonight. Like I said, we'll show you East and Whetstone. We got the Westervilles. We've got DeSales and Hartley. So yeah, we got 10 of the best games you'll see. The highlights are amazing. I saw Coach Day. He was at the DeSales game watching RJ and probably now tucked in thinking about a big game tomorrow.
He ain't tucked in yet. He's all worried about tomorrow. He's up and thinking last-minute game planning. I saw Nicole Sheeran tonight over at Davidson, so you guys will have highlights of that Hilliard game. And you guys are going to have a feature at some point on this Jackson Maynard story, right? The kid with Duchenne's disease that scored a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think you're right.
I thought Carly Dion had.
Yeah, that's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be on our
that's
show.
not on tonight, okay.
I think it's on, but not in the sports.
But we're going to be watching anyway because we're turning our TVs on right now.
Right at 11. And also we have Jonathan Alder London.
Oh, who won that one? Do we know?
Big.
London did.
London did again.
Big
7-0. London.
London impressed me, and I like their coach a lot. He's a good dude.
London won 49-0.
Kyle Cutler.
Yeah, I like him. You know him?
He was an assistant coach at Reedy for a while.
Yes, he was. He spoke highly of you.
Did he?
Says you owe him money.
I probably maybe do. Maybe that's why we haven't had him on yet. But
said if I see you,
just give it to Tom.
Can I collect?
How did Kyle Cutler's hair look? Probably tough in the hurricane, right?
Looked pretty good. Well, we were going to do the interview. It was poor guy. At 4 o'clock he was going to go live with me, and we were doing it inside the school because it was miserable outside, and so we were going to do it. And he came down ready to do it. Good dude, and we're talking, and then all of a sudden I said, "Sorry, Coach, the 4 o'clock has been blown out because they had the tornado warnings. Remember? And when that's happening, nothing else." And I said, "Coach, I'm sorry," and I think he was happy. I don't think he really wanted to. Those guys are focused. They don't want to talk to the jester like me,
the king.
Yeah.
Some of these coaches, they still don't love the media part of all of this, do they?
Well, I mean, the Central Howell coaches are amazing. It's my really 43rd year, and everyone. I go live with the coach every Friday at 4 o'clock, and they've been wonderful. I mean, from Leporo at Bradley, great dude. Tonight we had Coach Wiggins, who's a
he's been there forever, hasn't he? He's been there for quite a while.
18 years, the head coach, and he's a DeSales product. 97, he graduated. I told him I'm only 20 years ahead of him.
He
20
was
77.
77.
I'm not a math major,
Listen,
but am I right?
He was trying to call you out. He was questioning you on that one.
I don't know where you went to school in West Virginia, but here in Ohio, 77 and 97, it's 20.
There you go.
Okay, I just might be different.
I just wanted to double check that.
Almost heaven, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom, before you go, we got to get your final thoughts on the Buckeyes game tomorrow. They're taking on Iowa. You saw Ryan Day tonight.
Well,
what do you think?
Let me tell you what. He is like, I said on the air the other day, Ryan Day is impersonating Paul Revere this week because he keeps shouting the Hawkeyes are coming. And he keeps saying that these guys are good. They are if you look at the roster, men, they're either seniors or juniors.
Right.
That's all that's playing. I mean, they develop their players. They stay there forever, it seems like. They're big, physical farm boys, and they're gonna be smash mouth football with Ohio State. This is going to be the true test, I believe, for the Ohio State defense, because Coach Day's talked about. I mean, to date, Coach Day's talked about: are we physical enough? Are we tough enough? Well, on the tough meter, this is going to be the game so far this year. This is, to me, this team is equal to what a Penn State might be in the trenches or what they're going to face against Michigan at the end of the year. So this is a huge test. He's going to learn a lot about his football team. So that's the big question for me, is how will the defense perform? They can't let this Johnson kid, who's an Ohio kid.
Yeah, Cincinnati,
and here's a kid that's already rushed for nearly 700 yards and 9 touchdowns this season. They can't let him come out and just run up and down the field, which we have seen that happen sometimes.
Right.
And the last 2 games, they got off to somewhat slow starts on defense. They can't have that tomorrow. They can't let these. The only chance Iowa has is if they can get long and sustained drives. And, Guru, we both know that weird things happen in Big Ten football, and sometimes the better team doesn't win. Urban Meyer found that out over in Iowa. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness the game's here. But over in Iowa, who would have predicted Ohio State would lose to him over there? Who would predict the way Ohio State, Urban lost twice to Michigan State? This is the toughest test to date. It's not the toughest test on the schedule. I think the toughest game on the schedule could be next week, could be Penn State, could be Oregon next week, could be Penn State. And Michigan seems to be getting better as I watch them, and they will not be the same team. But this is what they've been. And the schedule, I think, Bake has kind of let them up a little bit to this point. And so we'll see how they do. But, Coach Day has, screamed all week, these guys are for real. And he says thinks he's got his team's attention. He says, we got their attention. They understand because, and he's, I think, I never met a coach that doesn't fret, letdowns and stuff, but he's genuinely concerned about these guys. He respects the heck out of them. And like I said, these are grown men that are playing for this football team. These guys are all seniors and juniors, and they're grown men.
I have a feeling Coach Ferentz is probably wishing Caleb Johnson, the running back, might have kept quiet a little bit this week more than he did. But
sometimes they run their mouths, but this is also the same program that paints their locker rooms pink.
It is true.
That.
Visitor locker room is pink. When Coach Coop was here, he would put up paper on the walls because he didn't want to. Didn't like it. Didn't appreciate that.
So, Dommy, 1st and 10 gets underway at about 11:15. But go ahead and put your TVs on Channel 10 right now. And get ready for
mine
it.
Never. The Guru and ours never.
Only one channel.
Only one channel.
Right.
One channel. I love it.
Remember that. There's only one channel.
He is Dom DeBerry of Channel 10. Make sure you check out the highlights of the high school games tonight. 1st and 10 coming up around 11:15. Get that TV switched over there now. We are going to talk to the head coach of the Westland Cougars, Trent Williamson. Coming up next, it's Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. When you leave a job, don't leave your 401k. Grow your investment without the fees associated with 401k plans. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye. Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Right now, save up to $250 on Cooper tires, and shocks and struts are buy 3, get 1 free.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. Great weather for those high school games tonight as clear skies and sunshine for the kickoff are expected. Temperatures will start in the 70s, work their way down into the 60s by the time the games come to an end. We'll be down to the low 50s overnight tonight. Mid-70s tomorrow. Great weather for the Ohio State game. Plenty of sunshine out there. Clear skies continue tomorrow night. 84 Sunday before a cold front comes through, bringing us a small chance for rain and cooler weather next week. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Friday nights mean high school football in Ohio. This is Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Welcome back in, Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime. Ryan Baker, the guru, Lee Cochran, and Jeff Tito Thidoff hanging out with you guys tonight. Glad to have a three-man booth tonight. That's fun. Buckeyes, of course, taking on Iowa tomorrow. Coverage gets underway here on The Fan at 10 a.m. Westland, they improved to 6-1 tonight. They beat Westerville North by a score of 34-21. Their head coach, Trent Williamson, joins us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And Coach Williamson, man, what a start to the season. I'm going to start off with, I think, a pretty easy one here for you. How much fun are you having and enjoying this right now?
Well, winning's always funner than losing. So, going 1-9 last year to 6-1 this year so far, it's been a lot more fun. So we just got to keep it rolling now.
Well, Coach, what's been the change? I mean, sitting 1-9 in your first year, 6-1 this year. What's caused the turnaround?
The kids, honestly. When I took the job, I knew it wasn't going to be a 1-year turnaround. I knew we were going to have to grind at it for a little bit. The kids busted their butt in the weight room all winter, and they were hungry for it. And we were just waiting for our opportunity. We knew year 2 was probably going to be the team, and they've taken and ran with it.
Well, how do you convince them? I mean, let's be honest. Westland hasn't had a whole lot of success. I mean, you're on your best season since 2006. How do you convince the kids we can turn this around? We can be a winning team.
Well, I think it starts with their motto. Our motto is Tough Street. We're all about Tough Street, meaning we're going to be the toughest team on the field no matter what week it is. And our kids truly believe in that, and it's kind of caught on as far as school spirit, too. You hear kids in the hallway yelling Tough Street. They really believe in it, and I'm a firm believer if you have a tough team, you always have a chance. So that's kind of what we started with, and that's what we've been rolling with.
Are you surprised by the success this season, or was there a point, maybe it's the off season, maybe at some point during the regular season here, where you felt it clicked?
So team bonding activity, and I thought that was going to be the key to this team, is that if we can get them to buy into caring about each other and loving each other, that would be the turning point. And we actually took them to the trails, and we assigned the partners and made them run together, guys they don't normally talk to. And I feel like that was kind of the turning point of like, all right, if we're gonna do this and be special, we got to care for each other, and we got to every snap play for each other. And again, they've taken it and done a great job with it.
Coach, you talked about the players. You've got some really good ones. Kentrell Reinhardt, obviously, who transferred in from Reedy. He's going to North Carolina State. Amani Bates is a heck of a football player for you guys. And then Levi Estep back there at quarterback. I know he missed a couple games this year for you. Talk about those three, just how talented they are, what makes them so special.
Yeah, all three of them are special in their own ways, but they all have the common theme of they all work hard. And that's, it's easy when you're a superstar to take off days practice, and, we don't believe in that in the program, and they believe the same thing. There's not one time during the summer, there's times that they were a little banged up that they could have said, I'm going to sit today out, but they knew the bigger purpose, and they knew they had to be on the field and lead. So, hats off to those guys, and just being unselfish. As many guys as we have that are good athletes and great with the ball in their hands. And we had that conversation with them, before the season. Nobody's winning Mr. Football on this team because we have enough talent to spread the ball out. They've accepted that, and they block for each other. We have a theme: no rock, no block. Or I'm sorry, no block, no rock. So they know that they fight hard for each other, and they know when they get a ball, their teammates are going to block for them, and same thing vice versa. So they believe in that.
Now, Coach, tonight you beat Westville North. You've got South coming up next week, and then a couple of the other big hitters in the division. It's a tough home stretch for you with Delaware Hayes, and then a Week 10 matchup against Big Walnut. With your team, I mean, how are you looking at these games? I know you do it one at a time, but how do you keep the kids from not looking ahead?
Yeah, I mean, we, preach it to them one game at a time, as you said, and just, I believe in being honest with them, and every team we play from out here on out, including playoffs, is going to be a great football team. So it's just about how you prepare during the week, and again, getting out there and just playing tough street football, and the outcomes will take care of themselves.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight and the great start to the season. It's really awesome seeing the success that you've helped bring back to the Westland program. They've had some lean years here, but it's fun seeing you guys at 6-1 right now. Continued success the rest of the way, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all you do.
He's the head coach of Westland, Trent Williamson, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I know when you get a kid like Kentrell Reinhardt to come in, it makes things easier, but he's done a heck of a job here in just his second season at Westland.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to this game tonight because the only team with a winning record Westland had played so far was Grove City, and it was a 10-point loss. Westville North comes in 4-2 tonight, and they beat them a couple touchdowns. This is a kind of an eye-opening win for me. I mean, granted, they're leading Division I Region 2 in points coming into the night. They're still going to be leading, I'm sure, but they'd beaten a Franklin Heights team that is 3-4 now, a Dublin Scioto team that was 1-5, Central Crossing team that came in the night 1-5. So this is a big win for them tonight.
Yeah, it really was, and pretty cool win. Listen, Delaware, they're a pretty good team right now. They beat Westerville South. Then you've got Westerville South. They're reeling a little bit. That Week 5 matchup looms Week 10, with Big Walnut looms really, really large for that OCC Capital Championship.
Yeah, it does, and it's going to be look. The Westland thing's really cool too. By the way, like I love seeing programs like that do the turnaround like that after the problems they had. The lack of success the previous season. I can only imagine what it's like being a high school kid on that team. And experiencing this after going through what you went through last year to having this kind of an ascent. Just a year later.
Well, let's see. It wasn't that long. It wasn't that long ago. Remember when Franklin Heights had struggled for years? 2016, and they ended up 8-2 in the regular season. Won a couple playoff games.
Was it Seth Dawkins? I think the receiver on that team that went to Louisville, and they had some pretty good players.
One of our all-time favorite coaches, Tennyson Barney. There,
that was a good time. Every year. We kind of have some team that we kind of get behind. It's like our feel-good story of the year. I think we've got it now, right, in this Westland Cougars team?
I would think so. My goodness, I would think so.
Should be pretty cool to see them.
I mean, look at another team, though. I'm jumping around a little bit, but look at Grove City Christian.
Yeah.
They're off to their best start since 2009 when the Southwestern School District shut down sports, and a lot of those kids went to Grove City Christian. They made a run to the state semifinals, and they're just throttling teams this year.
It's funny you mentioned that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trent Williamson was one of those kids that left Grove City, and I believe he went to Westfall and became their starting quarterback.
Don't quote
you're right.
Me on that,
think you're
correct.
I think, because if I remember correctly, that year Westfall and Taze Valley started the year, and both starting quarterbacks came from Grove City in that opener. So that was pretty cool. We're going to run through the scores coming up next after this quick timeout. It's high school football overtime. Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on the Fan.
You want an easy way to feed your friends? You get a Jersey Mike's catering box. You want an exciting radio idea? You get me. Like this. There's a Jersey Mike's catering box off the coast of Corsica that needs rescuing. Me and a team of mercenaries go in, barrel rolling past the sleeping guard, and we find the catering box in a secret bunker. I say, men, let's get these 12 subs home. But they're already eating them. That's the problem with mercenaries. You can't trust them. The Jersey Mike's catering box, a sub above.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time, except for two things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
If your air conditioning or furnace stops working in the middle of the night, on a weekend, or over a holiday, there's no reason to wait to get it fixed. For 100 years, Atlas Butler has been here for your family. We're always open, we work on all furnace and air conditioner brands, and it's easy and convenient to request service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Get out there and have some fun in a new Toyota truck. Now through November 4th, get 1.9 APR financing or $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or lease a Tacoma SR Double Cab for $319 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Nobody builds better trucks than Toyota. Let's go places.
Here on The Fan, we talk about getting rid of joint pain with the regenerative experts at QC Kinetics. There's no surgery, no downtime, just your body's own healing properties working to give you relief. So you can enjoy doing the activities that you love, like the fastest growing sport in the country. That's pickleball. And here in the Columbus area, QC Kinetics is proud to be a sponsor of Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club. Learn, grow your skills, challenge yourself, and meet other pickleball players. Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club features the ultimate indoor facility with 16 state-of-the-art courts. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Paddle Tap welcomes all skill levels. See what you're missing. Call Paddle Taps and mention QC Kinetics, and you'll get 1 hour of free play, courtesy of QC Kinetics, the people who take care of those achy joints, so you can play for years to come. For details, go to pbtaps.com. That's pbtaps.com. pbtaps.com.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, two windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, "Sure is a hot day." The other one says, "Ah, a talking window."
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals.
From Picktown to Marysville and everything in between, this is Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Welcome back to the Byers of Dublin Subaru High School Football Overtime Show. Tito, Ryan Baker, Lee Cochran with you. The Guru.
The Guru.
Going through scores here, Bakes.
Yeah, let's run through some scores. I'll go ahead. We'll just do it page by page here, Tito. City League got underway last night in the North Division. Northland got a 3-0 win over Centennial. City League South, Walnut Ridge is 7-0. 32-0, they beat West. Afrocentric, 50-10 winners over Marion Franklin. Briggs beat Independence 32-38.
Independence beat Briggs.
Flip those around. Independence beat Briggs 38-32, and then Eastmore with a 43-0 shutout win over South. Tonight in the OCC Buckeye, how about Canal Winchester? They improved to 5-2. They beat Taze Valley 30-10. Lancaster gets a 20-6 win over Logan. Pickerington Central, big 44-7 win over Newark. Reynoldsburg with the upset. They knock off Groveport 22-21. Westland, we just talked to their head coach, Trent Williamson, 34-21 winners over Westerville North. Delaware squeaks by Westerville South, 24-21. Big Walnut shuts out Worthington Kilbourne, 31-zip.
Franklin Heights also over Dublin Souda 34-14 there in the OCC Capital. So Franklin Heights improves to 3-4, 1-3 in the conference. And the OCC Cardinal, Dublin Jerome 35, Hilliard Darby 14. Marysville falls to Olentangy. Olentangy was that one 31-15. It was Olentangy Berlin all over Thomas Worthington 43-14. Moving over to the OCC Central, the game that Ryan Baker called earlier tonight, Hilliard Davidson over Hilliard Bradley 45-13. Olentangy Liberty and Upper Arlington. Liberty was number 1 in Region 3 coming into the game. Arlington number 4, and both teams were 5-1, 1-0 coming in. Their last 2 times they played went to overtime. Arlington gets a touchdown in the final minute of the game to win that one, 31-28. Come back from a 28-16 deficit there. It was Olentangy Orange over Dublin Kaufman, 27-20. OCC Ohio, you had Pickerington North 42, Central Crossing nothing. Gahanna over New Albany 41-6. Grove City shuts out Westerville Central 35-0. Grove City improves to 6-1 on the season. Central Catholic League DeSales over Hartley 14-6 on a game you heard on ESPN 1460 here earlier tonight. It was Beechcroft over Mifflin 40-14 in the City League North. Also in the City League North, it was East 43, Whetstone 14. Central Buckeye League, you had Columbus Academy 42-0 over Bexley, and Reedy 42, Whitehall 6.
Real quick, while we're at the City League, Guru, I want to get your thoughts on Walnut Ridge. They're 7-0 right now. Is this a team we're not talking enough about?
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly. I mean, they're off their best start since 2019 when they won their first 11 before they lost in the playoffs. I mean, it's the schedule. You know, their schedule is filled with nothing but City League teams. I mean, in the non-conference, they played Northland, Linden, and Beechcroft. But Northland and Beechcroft are probably going to be playing for they'll be in the mix with East for the North title. They've got a big one coming up next week. You know, they've got Eastmore. That's going to be a dandy of a game.
Where it sits right now, and we don't have updated games from Big Walnut into DeSales and Canal Winchester in here, but where it sits right now, they are number 1 in Region 7. Now, they may not be that way when it updates and Big Walnut gets their win and DeSales gets their win and whatnot, but they're right there. They're going to have a home playoff game as of right now.
It looks like it, and you know they've got a good team. I know one of their assistants, and he's spoken highly about them since August. And, you know, now we talked to a lot of coaches, and a lot of coaches will tell us, hey, you know, we could be pretty good. And we've also had some coaches say we're going to struggle this year. Now, we both could talk about that. But I think that this is a good team. I'd like to see how they are going to do in the playoffs. I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and, you know, again, one of those teams that since you and I have been doing this, they've kind of been a dominant force in the City League. They've had a couple down years here. It's good to see Walnut Ridge back to playing the way we're used to. In the Mid-State League Buckeye tonight, Fairfield Union hammers Liberty Union 49-21. Hamilton Township gets by Circleville 53-28. Bloom Carroll, man, they just continue to play good football down in Amanda. 41-14, they beat Logan Elm this evening. In the Mid-State League Cardinal, 48-0. Grove City Christian beats Millersport. Another shutout. for the Eagles. And Rosecrans tops Fairfield Christian 17-7. Licking County League Buckeye, Granville 7-0, 21-0. They beat Licking Heights. In the Licking County League Cardinal, Northridge, am I seeing this right? Northridge beat Johnstown tonight.
You know,
62-28.
No, it's funny. When we came in, Tito said he's giving me some scores. He goes, Northridge 62-28 over Johnstown.
What?
I said, are you sure about that one? He said, yeah, I'm 100% sure about it. I was like, all right, I'm going to buy it.
Wow.
That's
How
a big
about
one.
Northridge? That is huge for them. Heath gets their second win of the year, 50-13. They beat Lakewood. Utica tops Newark Catholic 33-7. I cannot believe the Green Wave is 0-7. In the Central Buckeye Conference, the Kenton Trail Division, London 7-0, 49-0. They beat Jonathan Alder and Bell Fountain 56-8 winners over Tecumseh.
Urbana also beat Kenton Ridge 28-0. An upset there with Kenton Ridge coming in undefeated playing at home. Switching over to the Ohio Heritage Conference North, we had Fairbanks 48, Mechanicsburg 6, West Liberty Salem 43-6 over West Jefferson. In the Ohio Heritage Conference South, Madison Plains gets a 21-0 win over Springfield Greenon. And in the Knox Morrow Athletic Conference, it's Centerburg 46, Mount Gilead 14.
A couple other scores from area games. Martins Ferry, Hammersburg Union 50-7. Grandview 7-0. They beat Worthington Christian 49-21. Buckeye Valley knocks off St. Charles. How about the Barons 31-13? Waterston 45-6 winners over Kip Columbus. Mount Vernon gets their first win, Watkins Memorial gets their first win of the season. They beat Mount Vernon in overtime 27-21. Miller tops Fisher Catholic by a score of 44-18. We're going to take a quick timeout, but we've got some coaches lined up. We're going to talk to them next. It's high school football overtime. I keep forgetting Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, two windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, sure is a hot day. The other one says, a talking window.
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save on Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef. It's perfect for burgers and more. 3-pound packages are on sale for $2.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 roof.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. From Picktown to Marysville and everything in between, this is Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Welcome back in. High school football overtime. Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on The Fan. Running the three-man booth tonight. It's almost like Monday Night Football or something. I'm Ryan Baker. He is the guru, Lee Cochran, like always. And our good friend, Jeff Tito Thidoff, joining us tonight as well. Glad to have him along. Guys, we've got some coaches lined up, and it's going to be fun. So what we're going to do, we're going to go a half hour. We're going to go right to the end of the show here. No commercial breaks. We're going right on through here. All right. We have paid all of our sponsors off for the evening, so we're going to hammer out some coaches and give you the scores, and then we'll head to our post-show meeting. That sound good to you, Guru?
I'm down with that. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, let's go right now to the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and talk to the head coach of Upper Arlington. What a win for them tonight. They knock off Olentangy Liberty in style, 31-28. Coach Buttermore joins us now. And, Coach, man, you couldn't have thought of a more exciting way to win tonight, could you?
No, it certainly wasn't the script we had laid out to win, but it was an unbelievable effort by our guys. I mean, just fighting and believing they could come back and doing it in the last few minutes.
Well, Coach, you guys, last three games, post 3 shutouts. Tonight, you give up 28 points, but, boy, that defense came up big on the fourth down play, didn't they?
Yeah, it really was pretty uncharacteristic. We played a really bad first half, I felt like, and, I mean, credit to them. They've got some terrific players. Their quarterback, he just doesn't make very many bad decisions, and he hurt us. He hurt us with his feet, and he hurt us with his arm, and we didn't play very well, and our kids were upset at halftime, and we didn't yell and scream at them, but just told them we're better than this, and they knew they hadn't played really up to par. But the second half they came out and played well, and the fourth down stop late was huge.
Coach Buttermore joins us from Upper Arlington on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. So you mentioned that at halftime, and you guys played a less than stellar first half. And what adjustments did you make? And then I'm also curious, so you said you didn't yell a lot, things like that. It was just, we're better than this. How do you decide when is the right time to yell at the team at halftime? Or is it ever right?
Well, I mean, there's times where you got to. And if it's a situation where you're, a lot of mental mistakes and things like that. But we were playing a touch slow. And, I mean, that's probably on me. We probably had a little too much in. They were probably thinking too much. We've been good because we haven't been thinking a whole lot. We think pre-snap and then just play. And it just felt like we were a touch slow on everything. And so, I didn't feel like it was a time to beat them down. They were upset. They have high expectations for themselves, so they were upset. And we just talked about this, just settling in and getting stops. And it starts with getting a stop and getting a score and getting it back to a one-score game. And our kids did that. And like I said, a testament to them to come back, because it's a lot of teams, just don't have the mental toughness to do that. But they believed.
Coach, your defense has been playing so well this year, coming in off of 3 straight shutouts. The loss to Glenville, actually, your defense didn't give up a touchdown. That was on special teams as well. The most points you've given up all year tonight, but you guys made the key stop when you had to. What makes your defense so good this season?
Well, it's just a team effort. I know that sounds boring, but we have a group of guys that really buy into doing their job. And it's not anybody that's trying to get fanfare or anything else. We have a group of guys that they understand. They ask great questions. They just have a really good understanding. And even before I call something, they usually know what I'm going to call, because they just have high football IQ. So, they've played very, very well all year. And like I said, tonight was not the case. The offense picked us up tonight, and it was desperately needed. But that's why we've been good.
Well, in your offense, you said the offense picked you up, but the offense is an offense averaging, since, week 2, averaging about 35 points a game. So, I mean, you feel pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, they've come along. In the last 2 weeks, they've been much, much better. So it's
well. What's changed? What's changed in the last few weeks, Coach?
Well, I just think we started to execute better. We had a lot of, it's one of those things. I mean, people, I think that have coached a game or been around a game understand. 10 guys can be doing the right thing, but one guy does the wrong thing in football, and sometimes that's a negative yardage play, even if 10 guys were doing it right. And so it was just one thing here or there that was creating some negative yardage plays, and we were behind the sticks. In the first 4 weeks, we were behind the sticks a lot. So the last couple of weeks, we've been ahead of the chains. Tonight was difficult sometimes. We feel, the delivery is really, really good, but I think we haven't made as many negative plays, and so we just executed at a higher level.
Coach Buttermore joins us from Upper Arlington on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. So a big win. I'm sure the kids were all psyched after all of that, and now you're heading into the next week, get ready for the next game. Are there a couple things from this game you want to take away from and say, guys, we've got to do this better going forward?
Well, no doubt. I mean, we're going to, you enjoy it tonight, and then you get in there and watch the film, and there'll be a lot of corrections to make on film. There's no doubt about it. But that's, I think our kids understand that and buy into that too. They get that it's a process, and we got to get better. We have 6-1, Orange next week, who's outstanding as well. So it's not like there's many breaks in our division. So, there's some things to learn. But the biggest takeaway for me is we had a group that believed. I mean, there's a lot of teams, like I said, when you get down a couple scores, you can see them start to fade away, and our group didn't do that. So I think we can really, moving forward, we understand that we know how to finish. We can finish regardless of the situation. You fight and give yourself a chance late in the game.
Coach, I'm glad you mentioned the game next week against Orange. It's our game of the week right here on The Fan. But then it's Kaufman, who gave Orange everything they could handle tonight and might be the best 1-6 team around. They gave Pick North everything as well. And then wrap it up with Hilliard Davidson, who's sitting there at 5-2. And I saw them tonight. They are definitely tough. Just talk about this gauntlet that the OCC Central is.
Yeah, I tell our kids that. As much as you want to win every game, the first 5 weeks are a warm-up to get ready for our division foes. Our division is, I believe, as good as it gets. Year in and year out, not just the players, but the coaches. And there's no breaks. And like you said, Kaufman, that's the fact that they're 1-6 is a joke. They're not a 1-6 team. You watch film on them, and they can beat anybody in our division, and they'll go into the tournament and beat teams in the tournament, regardless of what seed they are. They're very physical and well coached, and it's a gauntlet. You said it. It's a gauntlet, and you got to be ready. If you don't have your A game every week, man, you're gonna struggle to win.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win and the great start to the season. We look forward to hearing your game next week right here on The Fan when you guys take on Orange.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
It's the head coach of Upper Arlington, Justin Buttermore, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Huge win for them tonight.
But what was kind of funny what he said? He goes, offense had struggled because you could have 10 guys doing the right thing and one guy wouldn't be. Don't you remember we used to talk to Coach Larry Wolf? He said the day he was going to retire was when all 11 guys actually did ran the play perfectly. He goes, and I coached for how many years? He goes, it never happens.
It's very rare, but I'll tell you what, if there's any coach out there that could get that done, I believe it's Justin Buttermore. Want to run through a couple mid-state league scores for you. In the Buckeye tonight, 49-21, Fairfield Union beat Liberty Union. Hamilton Township gets by Jacob Reimer's Circleville, 53-28. Bloom Carroll improves to 6-1 with a 41-14 win over Logan Elm. In the mid-state league, Cardinal Rosecrans beats Fairfield Christian 17-7. And how about Grove City Christian, 48-0. They shut out Millersport tonight. Their head coach, Ben Schall, joins us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coach, you guys have 6 wins right now. In those 6 wins, your defense has not allowed a point. Have you ever, in all of your time coaching, seen something like this? And what is the key to this defensive effort from your team?
Not even close. I've never experienced anything like it. We knew we were going to have a pretty good defense just with the kids we had coming back. And Coach Hunley, I'm sure you know Mark Hunley. He's been coaching in the OCC and the Mid-State for years and years, and he's our defensive coordinator and just works his butt off each week, just trying to get the right package and just having the right calls at the right time, and he's done just an amazing job. But the kids are just really bought in and bought into what he's doing and what he's asking of them, and really taking pride in that kind of stuff. So it's been really cool.
Well, Coach, you've had 6-5 last year, 5-6 a year before. You're off to the best start that Grove City Christian's had since the 2009 season. Did you see this coming?
We have this group of seniors. The year before I got there, they were all freshmen, and a lot of them played as freshmen. And then as sophomores, I mean, Caden Carroll, our tailback, he was pretty much our team MVP that year and rushed for 1,000 yards the sophomore year. And we had a ton of other sophomores really contributing. We even had some freshmen, like thought Landon Sams as a freshman. He's our middle linebacker. I thought he was one of our best defensive players as a freshman that year. So we knew that this would be the year that it would all come together and hopefully have a really great year like we're having.
Ben Schall, the coach of Grove City Christian, joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. By the way, the now bowl-eligible Grove City Christian, right? With 6 wins, they're now eligible for a bowl when the NCAA comes calling. So, curious defensively, what is it? Is it a scheme thing? Is it a talent thing? What is it that's letting you guys have so much success with the defense? Is it you're out muscling teams? I'm just curious, like what the secret sauce is, without telling me too much, I guess, for Grove City Christian this year.
Well, Mark Hunley is doing amazing, like just in how he calls it, and he puts a lot of time into just the design of it. But I feel like what he's doing really fits our kids, and our kids are like they put in a great year in the weight room and like just in their off-season conditioning, and they were just ready to play this year. And it's the second year we've been doing this system, so it's been a really, like, the kids are familiar, and their intensity and their preparation every week has just been on point. And it's the shutout thing has been something that our kids are really proud of, and they're really working hard at. It was really cool tonight. Even we threw a pick like in the red zone, and kid ran it back, and we had our right tackle, Michael Hatfield, who's not playing a whole lot of defense right now, ran this kid down and tackled him at like the 7 or 8 yard line. And it's probably one of like the most intense, joyous moments of the whole game for our kids, because they knew that this offensive lineman like just hustled his butt off to make a like kind of the play of the season so far, keeping that shutout. And it was in the fourth quarter, so it was a big deal.
Well, we're talking a lot about the defense, but is it kind of overshadowing on offense that only twice this year have you been held under 40 points?
It's one of those things we're still like looking for our identity a little bit with our offense and just who we want to be. I mean, we want to run the ball, but we played Mount Gilead and weren't really able to do much run the ball. It was a tough night, raining and things, but we weren't able to run the ball real well against them, and it really I don't know, it just really like put us in a bind, and we just weren't able to like throw or run or anything, and it was really frustrating. And we've been like really focusing on running the ball this past 4 weeks since then, and our kids are starting to believe a little bit. Our offensive line's playing a little lower now, and coming off the ball a little harder than they were. So we learned a lot from that game, and so offense is coming. It's been a little slower than what the defense has been.
Coach, I want you to name some of your players here. Obviously, Caden Carroll, we knew about him coming to the season. He's had a great career for you guys. Jaden Patterson, a monster at left tackle for you. And then you've got a pretty good sophomore in Giovanni Cotton as well. Talk about those guys a little bit, and then a couple more that might be such a key to your team in this great start.
Well, like you hit the nail on the head when you talked about Jaden Patterson just being like a absolute monster out there. He is, I think he's the best offensive lineman that I've seen this year. And I've got to coach in the OCC for a lot of years at Scioto and at Grove City. And this kid's as good as anybody that I've got to be around. He's a stud. And a great kid to boot. Gio has had a really good sophomore year, and we were really counting on him to really step up. But kind of thought he would be like a little bit more of an offensive guy this year. But he's just made a home at defensive end, and he's probably leading our team in sacks and tackles for loss, doing a great job, just really intense and relentless. Landon Sams, I mentioned him a little bit earlier. He is heart and soul of our defense. He plays middle linebacker for us. He makes all of our calls. He makes sure everybody's on the right page every single play. He probably watches more film than anybody I've ever been around when it comes to high school players, and just a gladiator out there. Anderson Orell, Dylan Garman, like these guys have had really good years playing outside linebacker for us. And I do think we have some really special safeties too. Austin Dahmer, he was our quarterback last year, and Dougie Housley is our quarterback this year, and it's allowed Austin to really be able to play every aspect of our team, whether it's special teams, offense, and defense. But he's been a great safety for us. Peyton Fillinger is a great safety for us. So a lot of these guys are just stepping up and making great plays for us this year.
Coach, I'm glad you mentioned Peyton Fillinger. Now his dad, Billy, won't be mad at me because we didn't talk about Peyton when we talked with you about Grove City Christian. Hey, Coach, congratulations on the great start to this year. And do us a favor. If you just don't let a team score the rest of the year like you have been, you guys are going to win the last 3 into the postseason. So
Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
He's the head coach of Grove City Christian, Ben Schall, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Lee, I've never seen anything like that. A team with 6 wins, and they haven't allowed a point in any of those wins.
Yeah, that's such a strange statistic. But, I mean, they're wrapped up in it. I mean, he talked about tonight a fourth quarter tackle was chasing down a kid to prevent a touchdown, and at bigger schools, you start running some JV kids in there.
You don't have those numbers at Grove City Christian.
Yeah. So, which, because I've seen where, goodness, I can't think of the team, but a few years ago had a streak of like 3 or 4 shutouts in a row, and when they brought in the JV, they gave up a touchdown. Everybody's like,
get them out.
Yeah. So, but that is great.
That is an awesome story there, and a great season so far for them.
Well, and like we said though, they're off to their best season since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is pretty amazing. 3 years ago, they were a 1-win team.
That's just a great turnaround by Coach Schall. And he mentioned he's been an assistant coach for a long time in Central Ohio high school football. He's finally gotten his chance in Grove City Christian doing big things this season. Our game of the week tonight over on ESPN Columbus. DeSales outlasts Hartley 14-6. Their head coach Ryan Wiggins joins us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And Coach, you guys have had a lot of these games with Hartley over the past handful of seasons. Maybe even the past 10 seasons, or however long it's been since you guys renewed the rivalry. I mean, you'd expect nothing less than a slugfest like you had tonight.
That's exactly how it turned out, and a lot of these games have turned out that way. Tonight was no different. I mean, it was kind of some heavyweight punches being thrown back and forth, and we found a way. We were able to score early on we only had, I think, 8 plays in the first half. That's how much they were holding the ball. But one of them was a big one. We were in a 7-6 game. We forced two turnovers in the red zone that turned out to be big, and kind of just made a few more plays than they did overall. So it was a great win for our team. Hard fought like we knew it would be, but 2-0 in the CCL, and that was our goal tonight.
Well, now, Coach, is it good to play a game like this where it's so tight? I mean, you're coming off a 28-0 win over St. Charles. I know it was 2 touchdowns over Reedy, and then Lindsley before that was a blowout, as was Afro Center. Good to play a game like this?
I think it definitely is. I mean, especially when you come out on top. You feel like you have things you can do better and build from, but you're coming from that, as from a standpoint of winning. That makes everybody a lot happier. But then that's the way these games have gone, as you mentioned. They've been right down to the wire, and usually you can pick a few plays. If you can get them to go your way, then you're the winner. And the one who didn't win can pick a few plays and say, man, if those would have went our way, we would have won. But it takes some resiliency. It takes some toughness, some physical and mental toughness on the part of your guys, and I think we showed that tonight.
Ryan Wiggins, coach of St. Francis DeSales, joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. So the 14 points you guys put up, is that more because of I don't want to say mistakes, but things you didn't do on offense, or is it more about what Hartley's defense was able to do?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, it had a lot to do with Hartley's offense. I mean, as I mentioned, I think we had the ball 8 plays in the first half. They get the ball and they hold on to it. They're not afraid to go for it on 4th down. They chunk you away with yardage, and they just keep the ball out of your hands. And we had talked about over 10 years of playing these guys, we average about 40 plays. That's not very many plays in a football game. I think we were a little bit less than that tonight. So part of it is just not having the ball a lot. And so you got to try to do some things with it when you have it. I mean, that's part of Hartley's game and their style. But no, I thought we ran the football well, and we threw it just enough when we had to make a difference.
How frustrating is it, though, when they keep the ball so much, or is it the point where you're like, hey, they had all this and they only got 1 touchdown?
Well, it's both. I mean, you've again, this is a learned thing after playing them many times over, that you get the ball and you almost become impatient because you think you're not going to get that many chances. I think we were patient. We stuck to our game plan. We ran the football well, and then late in the game, we got the ball down deep. And I don't know exactly what yard line, but it was really deep, and we were able to go on a 95-yard touchdown scoring drive to kind of put the end to it. So I'm sure we'll look at film and say there's things we can do better, but I feel like we did a lot of good things with the opportunities we had.
Coach, last one here for you. There's been a lot of great running backs at DeSales over the years, and I'm just going to go through a couple in the past 15 years. Warren Ball, Alonzo Booth, Austin Andrews, Quintrell Quinn, Jonathan Brown tonight, 164 yards and a touchdown. Is he the next great one?
We hope so. I mean, JB he's a really good player. He gets his foot in the ground, and he's got great vision. He can take it. The one he broke tonight was quite 60 or so yards. He's got that kind of capability, and that helps when you can take it all in one. But like JB, like the way he's playing, and that's a good list there. That's something that hopefully JB looks at and says, I want to be like those guys, because a couple of those guys have school records.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win tonight. I know the games against Hartley are never easy. Good luck the rest of the way. I'm not even going to mention anything about Week 10.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
This is the head coach of St. Francis DeSales, Ryan Wiggins, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, now I'll say something about Week 10. They've got Kip Columbus next week, and then Northwest from down in the Cincinnati area.
And they're both 1 and 6.
Both of those are 1 and 6. Yeah. You don't want to overlook anyone, but wow, Week 10. 6-1 DeSales right now against 7-0 Watterson. Sign me up.
Oh yeah, and I mean, how is Week 10 is turning out to be fantastic.
Huge.
But all 4 Olantangis playing each other. You've got Upper Arlington and Davidson going to be playing. Very well could be for the league title. Watterson, DeSales. Goodness gracious. And we'll be in the studio.
We like looking ahead. Tito, let's fly through these scores here real quick. We'll go page by page. Last night in the City League, Northland 3-0 winners over Centennial. That was in the North Division. In the South, Walnut Ridge, they're 7-0, 32-0 over West. Afrocentric 50-10 winners over Marion Franklin. Independence is 3-4. They beat Briggs 38-32, and Eastmore shuts out South 43-0. In the OCC Buckeye tonight, Canal Winchester 30-10 winners over Taze Valley. Lancaster gets their third win, 20-6 winners over Logan. Pick Central 44, Newark 7, Reynoldsburg edges Groveport 22-21. In the OCC Capital, 34-14, Franklin Heights beats Dublin Scioto. Westland 6-1, 34-21 over Westerville North. Delaware gets by Westerville South 24-21, and Big Walnut pitches a shutout 31-0 over Kilbourne.
OCC Cardinal Dublin Jerome takes care of Hilliard Darby 35-14. It was Olentangy 31, Marysville 15. Olentangy Berlin defeats Thomas Worthington 43-14. In the OCC Central, you had Davidson over Bradley 45-13 for the Hilliard schools there. Upper Arlington got a touchdown in the final minute, held on to defeat Olentangy Liberty 31-28. Olentangy Orange over Dublin Coffin 27-20. In the OCC Ohio, Pick North 42, Central Crossing 0. Gahanna took care of New Albany 41-6. Grove City shut out Westville Central 35-0. Grove City improves to 6-1 on the season. In the CCL, we just heard from head coach Ryan Wiggins with DeSales as they improved to 6-1 on the season, 2-0 in the CCL with a 14-6 win over Hartley. In the City League North, it was Beechcroft 40, Mifflin 14. East 43, Whetstone 14. In the Central Buckeye League, Columbus Academy over Bexley 42-0, and Reedy over Whitehall 42-6.
Mid-State League Buckeye, Fairfield Union 49-21 winners over Liberty Union. Hamilton Township 53, Circleville 28. Bloom Carroll 41-14 winners over Logan Elm. In the Cardinal Division, Grove City Christian 48-0. They beat Millersport. Rosecrans 17-7 winners over Fairfield Christian. In the Licking County League, we'll start in the Buckeye Division. Granville 7-0, 21-0. They beat Licking Heights. In the Cardinal, Northridge a big win, 62-28 over Johnstown. Heath gets their second win of the year, 50-13 over Lakewood. And then Utica pounds Newark Catholic 33-7. In the CBC, the Kenton Trail Division, London 7-0, 49-0 over Jonathan Alder. Urbana 28-0. They beat Kenton Ridge, and Bell Fountain bounces back nicely, 56-8 over Tecumseh.
Ohio Heritage Conference North, you had Fairbanks 48, Mechanicsburg 6. West Liberty Salem defeats West Jeff 43-6. West Liberty Salem goes to 6-1 on the season, 2-0 in the conference. In the Ohio Heritage Conference South, Madison Plains over Springfield Greenon 21-0. And in the Knox Morrow Athletic Conference, it was Centerburg 46, Mount Gilead 14.
And then let's run through some other area games. Martins Ferry 50-7, they beat Byrne Union. Grandview 7-0, 49-21, they beat Worthington Christian. Buckeye Valley gets by St. Charles 31-13. Watterson 7-0, 45-6, they beat Kip Columbus. Mount Vernon falls to Watkins Memorial. The Warriors, their first win of the year, 27-21 in overtime, and Miller beats Fisher Catholic 44-18. Guru, I've got about a minute and a half for your final thoughts on Week 7.
We've talked a lot about some undefeated teams. A couple of them we really haven't touched on. Granville's 7-0 now. They got a big one next week, Licking Valley. That ought to be good. We haven't heard anything about Licking Valley. Columbus Academy, they win big. They're now 7-0. We've talked to Coach Miller a couple of times this week. Give a little shout out to Reynoldsburg. A little bit of surprise, a big surprise, I guess. Groveport losing to Reynoldsburg 22-21. That kind of got me. Let's talk about another team, Big Walnut. They've now won 6 in a row since that opening loss. Next week, though, we've talked a lot about tonight. Next week, we really haven't touched on too much. Davidson and Kaufman, we talked to Coach about that. Pickerington North at Grove City. That's a big one for Grove City. Big one. Upper Arlington, Olentangy Orange. We had Eastmore at Walnut Ridge. A big one for the City South. And like I said, Granville at Licking Valley. If you're going to that game, you better be there by noon.
Licking Valley, by the way, beat Zanesville tonight 35-0 in that one. A big thanks to the coaches tonight, Trent Williamson of Westland, Justin Buttermore of Upper Arlington, Ben Schall of Grove City Christian, and Ryan Wiggins from St. Francis DeSales. Tito, thanks for being here and doing some of the heavy lifting before the show. Guru, always a great job. Buckeyes, Iowa, tomorrow, 3:30.